A couple in the US convinced nearly 300 people, some of whom were total strangers, to pay to come to their wedding. They argued that the rising cost of weddings, including venues and charging couples to cut the cake, meant that the guests would need to pay to attend. The average price of a wedding in the UK now costs more than £23,000. So maybe you think charging your guests is a clever idea. Or do you think the cost of a wedding is simply part of getting married? And if you can't afford it, don't do it or invite fewer people, Linda?
Well, when I first heard this story, I thought it was a really good idea. It's like crowdfunding. I mean, it's staggering. 21,000, did you say?
23,000.
23, the average price. So, I'm always like thinking, oh yeah, I'd put 150 quid in the pot. And, if everybody did the same, you've all got kind of skin in the game, as it were. You're not allowed to sit at the back, like, grumbling about the bride. You're definitely part of that party and you're going to have a flipping good time, aren't you?
Because you paid. You're going to
enjoy
it more.
You're going to enjoy your food. And, you come at it with great kind of presence and joy and joie de vivre. But I'm thinking, actually, hearing you talk, there's a lot of money to pay, thousands. And I think that kind of is crazier. And even there might be a profit at the end of the day for the happy couple. And does that make the stakes even higher for when you're planning the wedding? Like maybe the dress was from, M&S or Next or whatever, and then all of a sudden the money comes in, and so you're all of a sudden shopping at Gucci and, for your frock.
You're upscaling. The more money comes in, the more you're upscaling.
Is not the way to go.
The idea of strangers, though, paying to attend a stranger's wedding affair, I think mostly you pay not to attend. They're so long. Weddings are all the same. If it's not your actual, favourite, best people in the world, you always think, oh God, let me out of it.
Who would pay to go to? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You go ahead.
The thing is that this couple charged nearly $1,000, which is diabolical, and people that they didn't even know. I mean, why the strangers agreed to pay $1,000 is bonkers to me. That's number one. Yeah. Number two, just don't invite 300 people to your wedding. And for guests to go to a wedding costs them money. The outfit they're getting there, buying bride and groom a present, possibly contributing to the honeymoon. I think charging people to come to your wedding is... It's just ridiculous. I would never do it. Good on that couple for persuading 300 people to part with nearly $1,000. It honestly needs to have been the best wedding ever.
Cosmo,
it's outrageous.
Outrageous?
It's completely. And why stop at weddings? Yeah. Why not charge people to come to your dinner? Come to have dinner at your house.
Yeah,
why not charge them to see your child's bar mitzvah? There's all sorts of things we can profitize, we can make money out of. It's meant to be a giving ceremony that we all share in together. And what's to stop you getting married time and time after, kind of turn it into a business?
Do it once a year.
Just to make it to make a lot of money.
Could it be, though, that if it's an exquisite spectacle, it's a really beautiful wedding in a really magnificent venue, and the music is by a live band, and the bride's in an incredible gown, and the bridesmaids are really picturesque, the flowers are something special, that people would just think, I'd like to go, I'd pay to go, like I'd pay to go to the theatre, I'd pay to go out for dinner, I'd pay to go to a wedding.
But you're celebrating, you're supposed to be celebrating a love story, right? I'm going to pay for that. I'm not paying to celebrate your love story. No offence, Vanessa. I'm just not doing that.
Not having a love story, unfortunately. If anyone wants to fix me up with them, I'm relying on you, beautiful viewers, to fix me up with someone. Nothing's happening so far, Linda. It's all deadly. The average cost of attending a wedding in 2024, guess how much it was? To attend a wedding.
Just attend. Just turn up as a guest.
Get the present, get your outfit, get to the destination.
£500.
For £451.
Makes sense.
Just to be a guest.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't
And that's not paying to attend. That's just what you have to pay to get to it.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Let's talk to Sean in London. Sean, what do you think? Would you charge people to attend your wedding?
Oh, good morning, Vanessa. Good morning, panel. Lovely show. Great to be on.
Gosh, you're such a great critic. You're absolutely... I wish you worked for one of the newspapers. It would be wonderful. You could put that in there.
First of all, I am getting married next year. That's the plan. And obviously, as somebody who is newly engaged, it's a lot of money to plan for a wedding. So we didn't realise that. And when we were looking for several venues, a lot of them were saying, well, to cut the cost down, why don't you just pay for the caterers and then the people can bring their own drinks in? And that sort of cuts the costs. But I wouldn't charge anybody. What I would say is rather than bringing a bouquet of flowers or paying for the honeymoon, why don't you just put a little bit towards the cost of the wedding itself? But I would only ask close friends and family to do that.
And will you, or have you decided that is what you're going to do?
Yes, I think so, yes. I think that is the best way forward, is to say, if you can contribute something, please feel free, but don't feel obliged. And
will that be, as far as you and your fiancé are concerned, instead of a wedding present, or as well as a wedding present?
Yes, I think so. I think, to make our day that extra bit special, we're not looking to have anything lavish, but to make it a little bit more special, perhaps that's what we will end up doing.
Have you totted up what the wedding that you want to have will cost you in total? Do you know what the outlay is going to be, Sean?
Well, I think it's very similar to what the average is, which will be, I should imagine, probably over, the 15 grand.
Yeah.
I know it's slightly more than that, but for what we're looking for, which is a church wedding, we found the church weddings to be much more difficult because you need to be practitioners of churches now as well.
Yes, of course. So I want to wish you congratulations and hope that you live happily ever after, and say
thank you.
Really, thank you. Lovely talking to you, Sean. Thank you very much. Let's talk to Lou in Devon. Lou, you had clever ways of your wedding not costing as much as it might have done. What did you do to cut down costs?
Hi, Vanessa. I'd just love to say I adore you, I adore your show, and I adore the decor.
Well, if Linda thinks it's okay, then we know we're all right. And if you like it, Lou, then we've done something right. Thank you so much. Tell me about weddings and the cost, Lou.
Well, for both of my weddings, actually, we chose to have them in the afternoon, so late afternoon, at about 4 p.m. So that stopped any chance of getting bored during the day. Having a wedding that lasts all day seems to go on forever, and you have to feed everybody a million times. So we had ours in the early evening, late afternoon, where we fed our guests a lovely roast dinner, had a few drinks, had a bit of a boogie, and that saved a lot on the cost. And we also kept it to just good friends and family, as opposed to inviting hundreds of people.
So did you have any idea of how much you spent in total by the end of it all?
Yes, I think it was only about £6,000,
oh, right.
And it was at a beautiful hotel on the coast in Devon. And we fed everybody a lovely 3-course meal, including a roast dinner. We had a DJ and some dancing. And the meal included a free drink for everybody, a free drink for the toast, and then the only thing the guests had to pay for then were their drinks on top of that. But it was really nice because it didn't drag on all day and all night.
I think that sounds very, very sensible, and actually rather kind-hearted and generous towards your guests, who don't have to, deal with that bit in the middle of weddings where nothing happens, but you have to hang in there in your uncomfortable shoes, waiting, sinking into the grass. Or is that just me? Lou, lovely call. Let's talk to Tricia in Hertfordshire. Tricia, what do you think about this, charging people to come to your own wedding?
Absolutely not, Vanessa. Hello.
Hi there.
I love you. I love the show. I love the panel. Listen, Vanessa, a few years ago, made a mixed wedding, if you get my drift, for my daughter.
Yes.
So my son-in-law was absolutely adamant that he wanted to pay towards the wedding a big chunk. Although my husband and I were happy to make our firstborn a wedding, he wasn't up for it. So what did we do? We made it in the week, because that does cut the cost down a hell of a lot.
Absolutely.
But no, absolutely not. If you can't, I love Lou from Devon, by the way.
Yes,
I think what she did was fabulous. I think Sean from London needs to revisit his plan. I don't understand how you can ask somebody to pay to come to help celebrate your child's wedding. And there are two families, Vanessa, that make the wedding. There's the groom and the bride.
True. But, sometimes it's unequal in terms of finances. Sometimes it all gets a bit difficult. You don't want the whole wedding to go off the boil, Tricia, and I'm sure you know what I mean, when the other side won't cough up and you think, well, I better just pay it myself, because otherwise, I just want my daughters up the aisle. That's all I want. Tricia, thank you so much. Always lovely talking to you. Let's go to Richard in Portsmouth. Quickly, Richard, you're at the very end of the show.
Greetings. Hello, Vanessa. I completely agree with the two ladies you've just had on, and I think it's absolute nonsense, like the lady just said, to expect to pay to go to a wedding.
You don't think it's your day, so your day you pay, right?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it's meant to be the best day of your life, isn't it? Although it's not. When you look back on it, it's like 20 years later. But hey ho.
That's another
story. Are you still married to the lovely bride or not?
Obviously, no. That's all I guess.
No. And then you think, God, if only I could have that cash that was wasted on my wedding, what a damn shame. I think my father asked for a refund. He would have liked that once the marriage broke up.